What's going on, people? Welcome to
Why did you do that like
that? Because I wanted the countdown. I wanted to.
I literally, I went 3, 2, and then I suddenly saw him start going.
I didn't know if everyone would see me do that. It was just I just wanted the proper producer in my ear thing. You know, I'm practicing for Sky. I'm going to be doing Sky during the summer. I'm practicing the producer. You know,
As you should.
And Q. You know, got the people in your ear.
Good
morning. Welcome to United View. Welcome to another episode of the Transfer View. Hope you guys are doing good. I'm still recovering from a mad day yesterday. I'm not going to lie to you, but there's no time to do that. There's no time to recover from a day yesterday because it's straight into more news. It's straight into more rumors, and it's straight into more updates about transfers, about the takeover, about everything Manchester United. So strap yourselves in. Make sure you guys smash the like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And a big up to everybody yesterday, I have to say, because when I kind of went to bed yesterday, I put my head on my pillow and I thought, wow, what a day. Like, the community was really communitying. You know, you guys were amazing yesterday. Everyone was involved, getting involved, sending in. People were gifting memberships. People were putting in super chats. People were commenting, just regular, just getting involved. The chat, everyone was catching up with each other. People asking how each other were. And just a really nice place to be, considering we're talking about things that, you know, do annoy us as fans, but actually as a community, it was dope, man. So I was really proud of the channel yesterday and all of you guys. But the show does go on, and we're into even more takeover talks. Owen, takeover latest, no preferred takeover bid. This is coming from yesterday, when Mike Keegan had a lot to say, and he doesn't normally as well. So in video form. So what's happening? And Carve just dropped the mic as well. It's crazy.
It is crazy with what's
going on.
It's all going off, as they say. Well, as you say, at Old Trafford, screaming. Yes. So Mike Keegan yesterday, of course, he dropped that big exclusive regarding the 5th bid from Sheikh Jassim that went in earlier on this week. In addition to that, the ultimatum for the Friday deadline, the take it or leave it ultimatum put in him by the Qatari banker. But he then also, Mike Keegan, did a video, a bit of a Q&A with people on Twitter asking, you know, send in your questions. I'll answer them as best as I can, which is quite actually rare. Me and Flex were talking about this before we started, saying you don't really hear him talk that much in terms of, like you say, video form or anything like that. Now, one of the questions that was put to Mike Keegan was, is Sir Jim Ratcliffe, Ineos, are they still the front runners? Are they still the preferred bidder? And he said, well, the noises that he's hearing is that there is still no preferred bidder for Manchester United. The signs were pointing towards Sir Jim Ratcliffe's offer, but it's unknown whether Sheikh Jassim's latest bid has changed anything. So according to Mike Keegan, Flex, he's saying actually there's no preferred bidder. I don't know if he said that there ever was one or anything like that, but the point is that he's saying that there's no preferred bidder. Having slept on it a little bit now, where do you sit after yesterday's madness? You put your head to your pillow, you were thinking about the community, and you're thinking about what an incredible day it was. What are your thoughts as you've woken up at 9:08 about the takeover this morning and where it's headed?
Can I be 100,000,000% honest with you? I didn't think about it. I didn't. Not in terms of waking up and going, oh, bloody Glazers, man, they're just not going to sell. Or waking up and going, oh, Sheikh Jassim, I think he's got it. It's very much unmoved. In terms of no preferred takeover bid, which was, that came out yesterday. When that happened, and I watched the little piece that Mike Keegan did, I did think, well, that's interesting, because you kind of do lose a little bit of heart if you're like us and want the Sheikh Jassim bid to be successful. You do lose a little bit of heart every time you hear, you know, well, Sir Jim Ratcliffe is leading. He's the one sitting down with the Glazers and trying to finalize this deal and stuff like that. And then you hear what Carve was saying yesterday about how frustrated Sheikh Jassim is. This is a joke. He is fed up. He is frustrated. He wants to walk away from this deal. When you hear him say that, it does get a little bit worrying, because, you know, you're getting fed media reports that one guy's calm in his position and is talking to the Glazers and he's happy with where he is, versus the other guy who's like, listen, take it or leave it. This is it. I'm out. Like, you know, I need to be in there. This transfer window is about to open. I want to back the manager. I want to sort this out, but you guys are taking the piss. And you're not serious. You know, Man United's supposed to be the biggest club in the world. Well, you don't move like it. So yeah, I think it didn't. I didn't wake up with more optimism or less optimism in terms of a change of opinion. But I did feel a bit better when Mike Keegan dropped his video, because I think again, you have to take it with a pinch of salt at the same time, because so many other media outlets have said that Sir Jim and Ineos are the front runners. It's been like that throughout the whole way, hasn't it? Really, since Sir Jim and Sheikh Jassim took it their own way. But then we've also had different things saying that he's not, and now this is the latest claim that there is no preferred bidders. And again, who knows?
And that's the key thing. It's across the entire spectrum, really, when you look at it. So you've got, like I said, Mike Keegan going, there's no preferred bidder as far as we know. We don't know if yesterday's bid or this week's bid has changed anything. But you have to also remember that the moment that the news came out that this fifth bid had gone in, you had Matt Lawton from the Times saying, well, they're talking to the Glazers directly. Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe, they're talking to the Glazers directly and talking to Rain directly, and Sheikh Jassim is not. So what does that mean as well? And Jamie Jackson said the same thing, saying that Ineos are talking directly to Rain, Sheikh Jassim kind of, not so much, essentially. So are we back into that territory of who do you actually believe? That's what I kind of feel like we're at. Who do you really believe? Where is this? Does anyone actually know? Or is it speculation? Because every single time it's like a pond, isn't it? And every single time a new bid goes in, it's like throwing a pebble into that pond, and then everything just ripples. And all of those ripples are kind of speculation, guesswork, all that kind of stuff. And no one really knows. I mean, Kave, like I said, has tweeted out about 30 minutes or so ago now. And even he at this point is sort of less reporting, just more frustration from his part. He says, if Manchester United are ever going to return to former glories, they need new owners who will clear all debt loaded onto the club to finance the Glazer takeover in 2005. United are a football club, not a cash point for banks. Being owned by Glazers has cost United more than £1 billion. And again, that's not a reporter reporting information that he's hearing. That's kind of Kave as, I guess, just a football fan.
Yeah, looking at it, opinion.
And looking at it going, this is, like I said, a gigantic behemoth of a football club that I know you can see opposition fans can point and laugh at United. But when you see what's happened to United, at an executive level, at a financial level, it's sad. There wasn't any debt at United before the Glazers come in, and now this whole takeover saga is just the latest step of more sort of public embarrassment, really, isn't it? Of going, all of these other clubs. I remember hearing something before. I think it was at the time when the Super League was trying to be formed and all that kind of stuff, and they were saying that a lot of the other clubs in the Premier League privately laugh at United for the way that they operate and the laugh that they run, the way that they're run, because they sort of say, they got no clue. Like, they're really badly run. They're fortunate almost that they are Manchester United because of the cachet that they have and the brand exposure that they have. Because if they weren't, they'd never make any money or they'd never do anything. And I almost find it, I was talking to my dad about this last night. My dad was on his soapbox and he was talking to the world. And I was saying that it's actually, it's upsetting almost that the Glazers are asking for this huge amount of money for United. And the reason they're asking for this huge amount of money is because they're saying, yeah, but you don't realize there's so much potential in Manchester United. That's why they want £6 billion. There's so much potential. You could make so much money with this club. And as any bidder, you would say, well, why aren't you making all of this money with this club? This money that you're saying,
exactly.
That you're saying, says, why aren't you doing it?
Why aren't you doing it?
And the real reason is because one, they can't be bothered. And two, it requires a bit of investment and hard work. And they don't want to do that. So when you're actively negotiating with that person and they lay their cards on the table like that, you go, wow, I know who I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with people that could care less about what they own. So maybe that's why when you've got Sheikh Jassim, saying, I'm not going to go to £6 billion, maybe that's why, because he's saying, I'm not going to give you what you want. You're horrible.
You're horrible. You are
horrible. You are. And you're an absolute
horrible
book.
people.
You're an absolute book.
You vociferous absolute.
Yeah, and I don't like this vociferous wording you're using to me. Oh.
Hey, I know. Like, I'm not super smart like him and say mad words. Burke's not a bad. What is? It's not a.
Burke's like
no, because he wouldn't say it.
Burke's
yeah,
not on the radio.
Okay. He wouldn't say it.
Burke.
All right,
yeah.
Cool. As long as I didn't think I don't want to be offended.
Constantly
like
dropping
a whole set of like
horrible.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be out here saying the word Burke and it's like really something really bad. But then again, if he's allowed to say it on national radio and it hasn't been, then obviously.
Yeah.
So you are a vociferous Burke, Owen. You are.
Absolute Burke.
Oh, Simon Jordan's got the wicked collars high up with the with the blazer, maybe the pocket handkerchief thing. Oh, he's funny. But the Glazers are Burks, though. They are absolute Burks. If we can, now I know what it means properly. I'm going to say it. Because
also as well, actually, sorry just to cut you off, but so it's Thursday today, June 8th.
Yeah.
We are, I guess, 24 hours away from
we ain't 24 hours away from nothing.
Well, do you think tomorrow?
I tell you that now.
Go on
nothing.
Nothing. We're not going to hear anything.
I tell you
tomorrow.
This now. No, we won't.
No.
And
no. I was probably toys at the
No, you're not. I just because you know what? The reason why I have no belief that we will, and if we do, I'll be on a show here live with you guys saying, "Wow, didn't expect that." But listen, 2 bids ago, we were told that's it.
Yeah.
Done. Final rounds of bids. The 11th hour. Well, first of all, on the day of the final bids, where it could not go any further, applied for an extension.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that. Applied for an extension. Then the bid didn't come the next day. I think it come like 2 or 3 days after that. Because there was a little cool-off period after we heard that Ineos's bid did go in. And then we went, where's Sheikh Jassim's? What's going on? Then it was apply for an extension, mate. Then it was, well, he did apply for an extension, but it was only because
he was offered one.
He was offered one. That was it.
Yeah.
Do you want an extension? Oh, okay. Well, we'll take some extra time. So then that bid took a couple of days, but then that was it. Lights out, decision to be made, 3 rounds of bids, 1 process.
That was round 2. That was round 2. Forget that. That was round 2. Round 2 is when the bids have gone in.
Extension.
Yeah, the bids have gone in, and then it was like, no, they haven't. They've asked for an extension, and then it was they weren't asked for an extension. They were offered an extension, so they took it. And then round 3,
sure.
Yeah, and then round 3 was the one where it was like that was 6 weeks ago. I think they all went in without issue. But again, bear in mind, since round 3, Flex, we've had 2 more bids.
We've had 2 more bids, and that was the bit I was going to get to. Since the final thing, we've had 2 more bids. And not only have we had 2 more bids, we've had the Glazers not accelerating the process on the other side so that Sheikh Jassim can't bid anymore. And let's just, and do you know what? The more I think about it, the more I come to this conclusion. It is really simple. The Glazers just want the highest price possible. Because they would have made their decision already. It doesn't take this long to say, you know what, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, when we can stay here, plus keep our dividends, you get Class B shares. All right, let's do that. Let's not even talk to that guy, Sheikh Jassim, because we're not interested. This is the bid that we want. But there's always an open ear on the other side. There's always that left side talking to them, saying, always keep your ears on the ground. Just wait for Sheikh Jassim. He'll give in. He'll keep going up and up and up. And actually, obviously, because each bid is being improved upon, if the Glazers would accept Sheikh Jassim's bid 4 bids ago, what's this, the 5th bid, isn't it? If they would accept his bid 4 bids ago, they'd be nowhere near the amount that they are now 4 bids later. So on that logic, they're like, wait for a 6th. Like you said, wait for a 6th.
Well,
that's what it is. So we ain't hearing shit tomorrow.
If you're Ineos, like to your point, you'd be like, well, we haven't really changed our bid really amount that much. Yes, we've sort of manipulated it a little bit, so we've sort of asked for less, but we still got the majority, all that kind of stuff. You would be thinking, well, if you're happy with our bid, why don't you just accept it? What are you waiting for? You know, are you? Because if I'm them, I'm going. Are you waiting for them? Is that what you're waiting for? You're waiting to accept their offer, but you're just not happy with it just yet. So you're going to still keep trying to sort of push up their offer. I said my prediction is for tomorrow, and this hasn't changed since yesterday, is that ultimatum's there. They do get back to him, and they say, you're really close. We just want one more, just a little bit, just an extra 200 million, an extra 300 million. Instead of it being, I don't know what the number is. Some people say 5.2 billion pounds. Some people say 5.5. Some people say 5.8. I struggle to believe if it's 5.8 billion pounds because that's basically on the £6 billion asking price.
Surely
I think they'd say yes. I think it's like 5.2, right on the lower side of things. And I wouldn't be shocked if they were like, if we can get 5.5 and they stick out the hand, you know what I mean? There you go.
Do you believe, when we've heard that like Sir Jim Ratcliffe's in talks with the Glazer, etc., and then we're hearing like from Carvey how pissed off Sheikh Jassim is because it's a joke, it's a farce, there's no contact, who's talking to him, etc. Do you believe that Sheikh Jassim's like not really having much contact with the Glazer, like they're just leaving him on blast? Or do you think they have gone, not that bid, not that, you could do better? Do you think there's just been no contact? Because surely Sheikh Jassim would have been like, what? No one's talking to me. I've just slapped down 5 point something billion. I haven't. Not one person has spoke to me.
Well, that's been put out there quite a bit, hasn't it? Where I think it was even last week, Jamie Jackson was like, "No, they haven't heard anything." Like, imagine sending that email. Imagine sending that email. Yeah. Oh, I don't even know how it's done. Right. But here's the bid. Here's the proposal. Blah blah blah. And then you go like, "Have you heard anything back?" No. Like it was a job. Like it was a job interview you went for 2 weeks ago. You heard anything back yet? No. But then is it upon Sheikh Jassim and the 9-2 Foundation to then pick up the phone and keep engaging that process, like on that job interview, to go, have you made a decision yet? Well, we're still thinking about it. Oh God, is it upon them like that? I don't know. All of it, like Kave is saying, Flex, it is a giant farce, really, when you think about it. This club went up for sale. Strategic alternatives were explored in November. It is June. 7 months this has taken. And I know usually there's no real defined timeline for takeovers, and Manchester United, biggest club in the world record fee, blah, blah, blah. But also to the point when, now it's already affected next season. We're going to get into it in a bit when it comes to people like Mason Mount, etc. That, Ten Hag has a decision to make essentially, because he's like, well, I don't know who I can buy and who I can't buy. Why? Because I don't know how much money I got. I really don't. And it's just, like I said, it's farcical, really, when you look at it.
It is. Smash a like on the video as per usual. Smash the subscribe button as well. We are at just over 1,500 people watching. We've got 200 likes. I'm sure we can do a little bit better than that. I believe in you guys. I'm sure you can do better than that as well. Let's get the super chats read out. Matimu M has been a member for 5 months. Members chats also, as well as super chats. Says Sheikh Ahmed, thank you for the madness. Wow. Yes, it's just insane what Sheikh Ahmed has done. Yesterday was just ridiculous. WJ Barrett says Kave has just dropped the mic. And JD Carmelo has been a member for 10 months. Big up to you. 10 months. Says big up Flex and Owen. Crazy that the bid is almost double the Chelsea sale and the Glazers still won't go crazy. Exactly. That, to put it into perspective, yeah, Bowley and all them man there. This is double the figure that they paid for Chelsea. And on one side, it shows how much of a bigger football club Man United is than Chelsea, which obviously we already know. But also, it does show just how greedy the Glazers are, because you would say, Man United, yeah, double the size of Chelsea. Of course it is. That should be enough to sell. And it still just isn't at the moment. WJ Barrett says, I must say, guys, I watched the show last night and heard KG say that it's better having Sir Jim in than nothing. That was a sin bin moment. 15 years of protesting to keep the Glazers and the rat. No. And WJ Barrett also says, I've always said that Altans will own the club. Why the hell would the Glazers not just accept the Sir Jim Ratcliffe bid? It's been on the table for nearly 2 months. WJ Barrett has always said this. If you watch the channel regularly, you know that WJ Barrett has been so calm, saying, listen, it's going to be Altans. It always was going to be, and it's going to be. So, yeah, watch this space. We're going to move on a little bit now, though, into transfer talk.
Yes.
A Mason Mount bid coming soon, but the club's still talking.
Yes, we are going to be talking about Mason Mount. Now, Manchester United are preparing their opening bid for Mason Mount, but the main issue remains Chelsea's position on the price. Man United remain calm as Mount's keen on the move. The strategy is game on, Fabrizio Romano is saying, but a little bit more when it comes from Laurie Whitwell this morning as well. Regarding Mason Mount, disgrace cheap Flex.
Yeah, disgrace cheap.
From The Athletic, Laurie Whitwell is saying that talks have been held between Manchester United and Chelsea directors for Mason Mount, but there is a significant gap. Chelsea say they want 70 million plus add-ons. United began pitching at the 40 million pound mark. Budgets will impact what deals Ten Hag pushes the button on. So a little bit of a difference there, actually, with what Romano and Laurie Whitwell are saying. So Romano's saying that United are preparing their opening bid for Mason Mount. But I guess they are in agreement and aligned on this, on the sense that the main issue remains Chelsea's position on the price. But certainly there is this posturing going on. United wanted to start at £40 million, according to Laurie Whitwell. Chelsea wants 70 million plus add-ons. Thoughts on those prices, Flex?
I want to be, just before we do that, I want to be really kind of silly, but also professional, because we can't just skip past the new graphics. You can't. People talk about it in the comments and the graphics are graphicing. Someone else said, he said sexual production.
I tried to play it off like it was nothing. You see that? I tried to just, you know.
We can't do that. So when I give my bit about Mason Mount, I want you to bring that graphic in. We're going to talk over it because that is just too professional. Josh is joshing, and he deserves his flowers.
Yes.
So as I go into this segment on Mason Mount, what we are hearing is that the two clubs are indeed in talks over Mason Mount. Now, that does not mean that a deal is imminent. That does not mean that a bid has been made between the two clubs. But what I'm hearing from the Manchester United side is that the fee that they are proposing to Chelsea is around about the £55 million mark for the 24-year-old Englishman. Now, that's a problem for Todd Boehly and his consortium, his people. They want in excess of 65 to 75 million pounds, and Manchester United are not willing. So right now, as of now, it is posturing. Right now, it is a bit of a standoff for this transfer to happen. Look at our graphics.
Yes. What's your actual opinion?
My actual opinion?
Because I was thinking, he's doing the carving. I can tell he's running out of words. He went, consortium.
That's what he does, though. He runs out of words as well. But my actual opinion, though, is we can't go near them peas, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just too much. It's just too much. Now we've gone through the bits of talking about the profile of player, what he can add and why he would be good for us. A lot of people have even disagreed with the fact of the profile, that he's just not that good. But most people's gripe with signing Mason Mount is absolutely the price, because one, he's in his last year of his contract, so don't try and take the piss out of us. Two, how transformative is he to Manchester United as opposed to improving the squad and improving the starting 11? That's a different conversation. And three, we got priorities to fix. We got big priorities to fix. And you wouldn't say that a £75 million Mason Mount is the priority or the best place to start. So I got massive concerns over the price. And I know essentially you can fall back on the players don't make up their price. And if the player comes in and does well, no one's going to care about the 70 million. It's not so much that side of it. I'm more concerned about the money that we have to spend. Not Mason Mount's going to cost that. That's outrageous because he's on 1 year left, which is still outrageous. He's not worth that. But if he repays it back in the first year because he's amazing and we're challenging and, he's getting goals galore, you forget about it very, very quickly. Again, I have to state this because people will say, so you're saying Mason Mount's better than Casemiro. He's had a better career than Casemiro. But just like how we spent a lot on Casemiro, and some people at the time said, that's 70 million pretty much on a 30-year-old, Now nobody mentions his price. Whereas with Anthony, he's a young player, only 22, got years ahead of him. But because he hasn't produced 80 million pounds worth during this season, it's 80 million for him. Whereas if he would have had double goals and assists and was twisting people up and done amazing, nobody, like if Lisandro Martinez was 80 million, nobody would say anything. Nobody would, after what he's done this season. They would have said it at the time. 80 million for a 5'5" guy from Ajax. That's what it would have been at the beginning. But then everyone would have shut the hell up. All the pundits, all the apologies would have been in, and nobody would have been talking about his price tag because he smashed it this year, arguably player of the year. So it is all relevant, but with the Mason Mount one, it is different because not only will the player produce to that level, that's one thing, but the thing at the top for me is we don't have that money to prioritize something. If we're spending 70 odd million on someone, it needs to be the striker, or it needs to be like people were saying, like KG was saying, add a 30 million onto that 70 million and go and get Declan Rice or go and get Caicedo. It needs to be that. If we're parting with the big bucks, it has to be that.
My concern is that when you have this big gap between valuations, we're going to enter this weird dance with Chelsea, aren't we? Where we're going to put a bid in of, let's say, 50 million that we kind of know that they're going to reject, and they'll reject it. And then we'll come back and we'll go, oh, we're 60. And then the player has to get involved and blah, blah, blah. So that was always my concern, is when the gap in valuation is this big, that to me, historically with United anyway, means a bit of a transfer saga. And to your point, I go, why are we in a transfer saga for a guy that's got a year left? This should be fairly simple again. And people might go, but yeah, you want Harry Kane. Harry Kane is a different situation. He is different because he is a talismanic figure. He is world class. Tottenham's and Ange Postecoglou and Daniel Levy's seasons, hopes for next season are pinned on him. That's not the case with Chelsea and Mason Mount. They want him to stay and they would like to keep him. But let's face it, if he leaves, they're not going to be like, well, we're not going to get Champions League. Mason Mount, man. It's not like that. So this should be a fairly simple transfer to do, one would think. But given this massive discrepancy between the two valuations, my concern is that we're going to put in that first bid, even though we know it's going to get rejected. And I hate when we get into that kind of stuff. Because we did that last year, didn't we? We're going to put for Anthony and for Martinez, we're going to put in this first bid. We know it's going to get rejected. Then we're going to come back again, but we've got to put in this first bid for the sake of, I don't know, negotiating leverage. But this deal was described as a deal, earlier this week or less than a week ago, saying that it was a deal that Ten Hag hoped to be done quickly and Mason Mount would be on tour. I mean, tour starts in 5 weeks' time, 6 weeks' time, something like that. I would be really surprised at this point if Mason Mount was on tour, and that's changed. I think I said he would be earlier on this week. But this is transfers, isn't it? I'm not sure. What did you say earlier this week? Did you say?
I can't remember. I think I said no. I think I said no.
I think you said
yes. You guys got better. Did I say yes?
Do we think any transfers are going to be on tour? Do we think, today, are any transfers going to be on tour?
I don't know. I think I said I don't know. I think I did this. I think I said don't answer me because I got burnt last year and I've learnt my lesson. I think I said that. I think I referred to the Cody Gakpo thing. When you asked me that, I said Cody Gakpo, and he didn't come. Look at Frankie de Jong. I think I said that. I don't think I said yes. But Owen, I don't know. I don't know. I'd lean more towards no because of the history.
Yeah,
but down to the track record, but you can't say it's impossible that someone is on tour. You can't say that, and especially because we didn't have anyone on tour last year. Was Malacia there?
Malacia was on tour. That was
which was no disrespect to Malacia, but that was like a young kid.
And we got deals done whilst they were on tour. Obviously, we got Martinez and Eriksen done, but they joined up once we had those games back in Oslo and in Old Trafford. But Ten Hag he'll want better than that this season.
That's what I mean. And that's why
from his point of view, he'll look at it and he'll say, "Well, it's clear he's got 1 year left on his contract. Like, it's not that difficult. Sort it out, fix it up." And when I hear the whole Man United remain calm as Mount's keen on the move, strategy game on, I don't want any pissing game on. I just want done. Game done. Not game on.
Game done. Game over.
We've got too much to do this summer for game on strategy for the first signing. We need to get that one done. On to the next one. We need so many players and so many positions, and Ten Hag wants double positions. Ten Hag wants 2 midfielders, and historically, we're not very good at spinning multiple plates at once. So I'm very weary of a saga in this one, an unnecessary saga. I've only got room for one saga in the summer, and that's Harry Kane. And I'm not even sure that's going to be a saga because I don't know what's going to happen. We'll get into that in a second. But yeah, my worry is the price. But if you said, Owen, come the end of the window, is he going to be a Man United player? I still do think he will be. But I don't know how close that is actually going to be towards the end of the window. That's my worry.
Really have to big up Adrian Hall, who's just given in a £50 super chat, which is insane. Adrian, big up to you, member of the United View. And Adrian Hall's just given £50 in, and also says UV graphics popping. Who needs Sky Sports News? Great work, and here's to a great season ahead. Thank you, Adrian. Really, really appreciate that, man. Who needs Sky Sports? Eh? Yeah, because you got United
Flex
View.
does in the summer.
Although, make sure you watch in the summer when I'm on there, like the 9 a.m. shows and whatever show times it is. Like, Make sure you watch. We'll have them both on. Actually, you can have the TV on. There you go, and then you got the transfer view and Owen and whoever else is on the show then as well. But I get your drift. UV is on the up, and it's the people like you, Adrian. So big up to you, man. Owen, waiting for Kane. Actually, just before you do that,
you say waiting for likes.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm waiting for likes as well.
Come on, guys.
Nearly.
Because you know what?
Go on.
Go on. Oh, because I was going to say, we've got standoff. Yeah. Basically, we've got so much support, and you can see the support. The chat's going off, super chats coming in, members chats, gifted memberships, but it's never reflected in terms of likes. And sometimes I see few people in the chats. Some not. It's very few. They say don't ask people for likes. Don't and I get that, but come on, guys. You're all watching. You're all talking. You're all for the algorithm. So more people can join the United View dynasty. So yeah, that's all we're asking for. Dynasty. Don't know why I dropped that word. Just want to drop it in.
Dynasty.
We're a dynasty.
Yeah.
But yes, waiting for Kane.
Yes, the latest when it comes to Harry Kane. United to wait for Kane. Wow, time for another player profile. Harry Kane, with the latest on him. If Daniel Levy sticks to his position regarding Harry Kane, Manchester United are prepared to wait until he is a free agent in 2024. Given those complications, Rasmus Højlund is among the prime targets. Atalanta want at least 40 million for the striker, and the player does want to join Manchester United as well. I've got another player profile for Rasmus Højlund that I can put up while you're talking. I just got to get it queued up. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you think there's any chance? Well, actually, there's a strong chance, I suppose, that he could become a free agent, Harry Kane. Do you think he sticks at Spurs?
I did, because there were some reports saying that Harry Kane, they're not in for him now, Real Madrid, and we'll have to see. But I can absolutely see Harry Kane staying at Spurs. I can still see it. I mean, look, it says there 100 million, but Levy's not going to want to sell him to any Premier League rival. I just can't see him doing that or sanctioning that deal. And on top of that, I can't see Harry Kane going, agitating for the move and saying, I don't care what you say, I'm out. It's over. I don't care what you say. I can't see him doing that. And also, I could be wrong on this. We spoke about this quite a few times in the last week or so. I can't see him go Real Madrid. He should go to Real Madrid with the circumstances and how good he is. He should go to Real Madrid. Let's be honest. He should, go there, become a legend. You're the main man. You're going to win trophies. But like I was talking with Danny Murphy yesterday on 5, he thinks he should go there. But he was also saying, but sometimes the pressure of going there and maybe it doesn't work out or it's not as you thought, the Bernabeu can chew you up and spit you out easily. Look how they treated Bale. Like if it doesn't work, you're in big trouble. And I'm not saying that it wouldn't work because I believe in Harry Kane. I think he goes there and scores a ton of goals. Bellingham, Camavinga, I think Modric is still going to stay 1 year or maybe not. Who knows? Tchouaméni in there, Vinicius Junior. And they still need more potency. Rodrigo, they still need to add to that potency. They're still not quite there yet. When you look at Real Madrid's bench, it's not quite. You know what I mean? It's Dani Ceballos, it's Asensio. It's not. It was Hazard who never plays, and now he's gone. They need that rebuild. They need that Galactico feel. Harry Kane is a Galactico for them.
Yes.
Not in terms of like his prowess and his
or the brand, not the brand, not the Harry Kane brand,
not the brand. Yeah. What? HK9. It just isn't it. That's not a thing. No one. That's the hashtag HK9 is not a thing. But
is it 10?
Oh, 10, is he 10? HK10. Okay, HK10. Whatever number he is, yeah. HK10. It's not a thing. I think he is 10. You're right. HK10 is not a thing. Yeah. So 10. HK10 is not a thing. There's no brand of that. Harry, he's not that marketable as that. But to be fair, he is marketable as what you should be marketed as, and that's just a straight up shooter. Amazing at your job. It ain't about, again, not judging, but it's not about good looks or the swag or have you got the charisma for this and that, and that's what sells. That helps as part of a whole package to people like Nike, who he's sponsored by, or people like Adidas when it's Pogba, or people like Adidas for Jude Bellingham. He's got the package, he's got the charm, he's got the looks, he's got everything. But sometimes just be the best at what you do, pretty much. That's all.
Yeah.
And that's what Harry Kane is. So he is a Galactico for them. And he should go there. But, the thought of if it doesn't go quite well, you got to uproot your family, change the schools, learn the local lingo, learn a whole new way of life, versus stay one more year at Spurs, new manager, break the record sometime soon, leave on a free at the end of the season. But what would his options look like at the end of the season? Because Man United can't afford to wait, or can they? Is there a situation where we get Rasmus Højlund and then we wait for Harry Kane? I don't want to see that at all. But is there a scenario where Harry Kane could wait it out and then because who else does he go to in the Prem next year? Let's fast forward a little bit, Owen, right? I'll paint this picture for you. Let's fast forward to the end of next season, right? So let's say Harry Kane stays. Let's fast forward to the end of next season. He's never going to go Arsenal. He's never going to go City. He's never going to go Liverpool. Yeah? I don't think he's going to go Chelsea out of respect for Tottenham. Yeah? Even if Chelsea
is
have
there
done okay,
and all that kind of stuff.
He ain't going to do that and ruin his legacy. The only other candidate in this country is still only going to be Man United.
Not Newcastle?
Actually, that's correct. Newcastle at the end of maybe next. So the only two possible destinations would be Man United still, or Newcastle still, if they don't get, the one this year. They'll probably keep going with Callum Wilson and Isak and then go around that, won't they?
Yeah.
But what would we look like after a year? Could there be a way where we get Rasmus Højlund now for 40 million, keep Martial? Obviously, I'm painting a picture that not a lot of people want to see. I'm just talking bad case scenario here. Keep Martial for another season, bring in Højlund, who's going to start most of the games, let's say, and then invest the money this year into the money you would have spent on Kane, into like extra good midfielders and another winger or whatever, another young up-and-coming player who can play across the front, whatever, and then try and get Harry Kane on a free next year.
Well, again, that's what Laurie Whitwell. The picture you have painted is essentially the picture that Laurie Whitwell is painting as well, sort of suggesting, as the title says, that United would wait for Kane, and given those circumstances, they then would go to Rasmus Højlund. They would go to him and saying, look, he wants to come, 40 million. Again, they believe that they could get it done fairly quickly. He wants to join United. And they would go with him, like you said, plus Martial or whoever for a year. And then they would come back to Harry Kane next year, if indeed he was a free transfer. My concern with that is, for me, that's a really risky strategy for United this year in the Premier League. It is. We get a striker in Højlund, great. And by essence, we would have more in that position because we've got nothing there at the moment. I'm not even considering Martial because he's just not available most of the time. But as I've said before, for me, that is so much pressure to put on a player that's 20, hasn't played in Italy for a huge amount of time, got 10 goals this season, something like that. Season before that, I think was also about 10, played for a couple of clubs. And for me, if I'm willing to take that risk, I'm looking for guarantees that Harry Kane's joining next summer. I mean, from him, say, I am joining, free transfer, blah, blah, blah. Even that, though,
that's not going to happen at the beginning of this season.
And also, we can't afford. Exactly, it's such a gamble because let's say Spurs aren't going to win the league this season or anything stupid like that. But let's say that they qualify for Champions League, and Postecoglou is a really good coach, and he's even better than people thought he was going to be, and he brings, the style of football he was doing at Celtic to Spurs, and everyone's like, "Oh my goodness me, Spurs! They've got top four." Then what does Harry Kane do? Daniel Levy says to him, look, Harry, we're in the Champions League again. This manager's pretty good, eh? You love Spurs, don't you?
Sign a new deal. Imagine worst case scenario, we capitulated and they bloody finished higher than us. I'm not saying that will happen because Spurs are rubbish, but imagine, though.
And then we're going to be having that conversation. You can already see it, can't you? Like December time where we might be still doing well, but we could be doing better. And we're going, man, Rasmus Højlund, it's too much to be asking of this guy. He's too young and he's unproven. Why did we do that? Clearly, he's not ready physically and all this kind of stuff. And all of the reports have said that the Manchester United hierarchy are fully aware of that signing Højlund isn't enough from the striking point of view. So I don't know. I don't even know if it would work like this. I'd be like, get Højlund, get this other bigger striker, and then Harry Kane's free or on a free transfer next summer, Harry Kane on a free, everyone goes in for him, regardless of if you need him or not, to be honest, don't you? You try and get him. It doesn't matter what your requirements are. You just go, well, Harry Kane's on a free. Why would I not go in for him? Maybe do something like that. But yeah, I that worries me a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I don't know who we're going to get as a striker now, man. Because it is really concerning. And I hate to be like pessimistic, like what Owen said, it is worrying because who are we going to get, man? Like, we did say we think Osimhen and Kane will both stay at their clubs, or with the Harry Kane thing basically not end up at Man United anyway. I just can't see how it happens. Can't see Daniel Levy saying yes. Still put the bid in, still do what we were saying, make them nervous, let Harry Kane know the intent is there. But Real Madrid are knocking potentially, and Harry Kane and Daniel Levy don't want to sell to us. It's two massive factors against us, man. Two huge factors. And we have to get this right. Like you said, we can't have another stopgap. We can't have another stopgap, man. And the bit where you can't have another season. You can. No, that can't. It's not you can in the middle of it. We can't have another season like you were just about to say in the same situation as last time. Martial has to go.
And not even just last season. We're talking for like 8 or 9 years, whether it's let's get in Falcao, let's get in Ibrahimovic, let's get in Cavani, let's get in Ronaldo. All players that were like old. And I know that you could say, well, Harry Kane's old, but it's different. Harry Kane definitely, for me, has 5 years.
That's not it. Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's not that. It's not that. For me, Kane's not a stopgap. I think there's more in it than that.
No. Kane.
So, but my point being is we can't have the mentality like we have had from the striking situation for a long time, which was we'll do something this season, but we'll really address it next summer. Because we've said that so many times, and we can't, particularly again, other teams weren't great this season. We were good, obviously. We had a good season, but other teams will be better. We can't afford to be like, we'll be good enough to address it next summer. It's fine.
Yeah.
So
watch this space as per usual. I think there's going to be more twists and turns. What was that piece that said, did you say at the beginning of the Harry Kane bit that said that Real Madrid don't want him anymore?
No, that was something. No, I think that was reports coming out. It was from, I think it was Marca last night from Spain was sort of saying after Daniel Levy had said the asking price was, I think, 115 million euros. They had decided that he was no longer a target. Whether or not you believe that, I don't know. For me, if they say 115 million euros was the asking price, that's what, around 100 million quid. United go in. Do it.
Yeah, but this is where Daniel Levy's
it's 115 to them, not to us.
100%, 100%. To us, it's not even a price because I'm not picking up the phone.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But we just go, listen. We saw in the reports.
You
were
tested
about that.
No, this was your asking
million
price.
Euros. Well, we converted that into pounds. Here it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Here it is, mate. Or here's how much is Maguire worth? 40. So here's 60 million plus Maguire.
I don't know. I was doing as part of these graphics last night. I was sending Josh a load of player valuations. Maguire weren't as much as I think we all thought, according to some reports online. It's not that. It's not.
What is it then?
30. It was like sort of 25-ish.
No,
but given the market,
going more than
25, given the market fleck, you push it up, of course.
100%. Even just as Harry Maguire. Even just as Harry Maguire, I know everyone's going to say, "Oh, he's not even a £20 million player. He's so right." Come on, he is a £40 million player. He is. You know how average that is? £40 million. That is.
I know. Player. Yeah. I agree.
That's not a wicked player. Yeah. No. Shyam says, "I feel disgusted, and I've never hated anyone more than the Glazers. They've no remorse, no empathy, no feelings for the club and the fans. Rascals. Glazers out." Yeah. I think everybody here, Shyam, would agree with that statement that you just made. WJ Barrett says, what is concerning is Real not linked to Osimhen? They're not, are they? I thought that Osimhen would have been high on their list, Like, I know Kane's available kind of thing. Well, not madly available, you know what I mean? I feel like he... I thought he would have popped up on their radar. He's got the Real Madrid-ism about him as well. That's a Galactico kind of signing. Young, up and coming, smashed it, But they did that with Stefan Jovic, didn't they? He's a Fiorentina, that came to... look, so... And he came off at halftime. Yeah. So, it just goes to show you maybe at the top end of the pitch, they have invested in Tchouaméni, Camavinga, now Jude Bellingham. But the top end of the pitch as a striker, Vinicius Jr., they did as a winger when he came. But when it's a striker, it is harder. It is harder. It really is. Kim Min-jae update.
Yes, Kim Min-jae. Let's talk about Kim Min-jae. According to Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic, Manchester United have known about Kim Min-jae for a while, and though he has a release clause, sources have played down the prospect of an approach at this stage. Harry Maguire, we spoke about him, his future could have an impact on possibly United signing the Napoli defender. So what are your thoughts on that? By basically saying sources are trying to sort of play it down a little bit when it comes to Kim Min-jae possibly coming to United. Is that a case of them sort of saying, look, we're not going to get him, but obviously we can't get him till early July because of the release clause. So we can't have this thing for several weeks going, yeah, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Yeah, because as of right now, it hasn't, and it wasn't for a little bit. Are you at any point concerned? I mean, there was this Disasi stuff yesterday, wasn't there, saying,
that was weird. That just came out.
But kind of in fairness to Romano, he did sort of lay the groundwork for that in the morning because he said, "Oh, there's a plan B in the French league." And
he did say that. Yeah,
we both went, "What's that?" And then the Disasi stuff came out, but then even Romano himself came out and said, "It's plan B though. Like Kim Min-jae is definitely the one that United want, and I don't think it's a case of United go for both." We were speaking about that yesterday, but we said, well, why would we be getting two centre backs? That seems quite far fetched. But it is interesting that they're saying that Harry Maguire's future could have an impact on Kim Min-jae. I tell you now, Fleck, if we don't get Kim Min-jae, I tell you now, Fleck, if we don't get Kim Min-jae and it's found out that it's because Harry Maguire refused to leave, could you imagine? Could you imagine the reaction to that?
That won't happen. That won't happen. Oh, well, you never know, actually, because if he does refuse to leave,
budgets are tight.
But Harry Maguire, sorry, big stretch. We just need a big stretch.
I just forgot that 2,000 people were watching. You know what I mean?
Sorry, guys. Do you know what? Actually, that might be a bit rude of me, but something you need to stretch. Why is it? Just really quickly,
You're turning into KG. This is the problem, You're turning into KG because KG, every time you click live, he starts yawning for whatever strange reason. You're stretching.
Yeah. Can I just say something?
Go on.
Why can you never... You see when you've just stretched,
Yeah.
Why can you never do another one?
Well, afterwards?
Yeah,
because that's the whole point. When you stretch out or whatever, you sort of... Things that are a bit compressed and tight, they get sort of, smoothened or loosened. So you don't need to again.
Yeah, but you can't... You just... I want to do another one just because, and I can't.
But I see, for me, when I want to stretch, it's because I need to. It's not because I want to.
Yeah, I needed to. Yeah,
I don't go. You know what? I want to stretch right now. I don't need to, but I want to stretch. It's always.
But say you want that feeling of, because when you do an actual stretch and it feels great, you're like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, because it feels good. Because I need. I'm like, I needed that. Yeah.
So we're not in control of that.
Well, I think you could control of everything you do, aren't you? I mean,
Yeah, but
stretching's not like sneezing or blinking. You know what I mean? It's not like, anything like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for that. I just wanted to ask.
No.
Big up, guys. But back to Kim Min-jae and Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire's not going to do that.
He's not going to stop it
now. No,
not on purpose. Not on purpose in the sense of I'm blocking Kim Min-jae coming in. I'm staying.
He ain't staying. He ain't staying.
Definitely not.
He's going. No, I think he's definitely gone because, and actually, this is me just thinking about Harry Maguire, the player, Harry Maguire, the person. I think he fancies himself, man, and he should. You've been at Man United. You play for England. You should back yourself. And
do you not think the irony of ironies? The guy with nothing to prove has to leave because he's got something to prove.
Well, there you go. That's why you should choose your words more wisely, innit? Which we said at the time. The very, very best players will tell you have to keep proving yourself every year, every game. Every single season, you have to keep proving yourself, whether you're a serial winner or not. Even more so when you're a serial winner, because you have to prove it wasn't a one-off. You have to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Prove yourself. Yeah. But no, I think that I don't think he will be content with just moping about the place. Everyone, is waning down on him and laughing at him. He's becoming a bit of a meme, and it goes over the top sometimes. But when we just keep it just strictly to football, he's not good enough for what we want to do. And more importantly, from a business and professional side of things, he's not part of the manager's plans. He knows he's not. He knows he's not. So if Harry stays, it's like you're just going to have another season. Like you're going to have a worse season than now, a worse season, because we want another centre back. The manager doesn't want to play you, and it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get to January, then you're going to have to go anyway. Like you're not going to play. And when's the Euros?
24?
4. Is it next year? Next year summer?
Yeah.
Shit. So when the season starts...
World Cup was 2022, wasn't it? Yeah. At the end of the season, I guess. Yeah.
So at the end of the season, it's going to be Euros next year.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. So there you go. So he's going to want to be a main... Because the other Euros was 20
years. Yeah.
Was it Euro 2020? But it happened in 21.
21. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 24.
Yeah. That's gone quick, isn't it? Where Luke Shaw scored in the final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought there would be like a year. There's always a year off, but there's not.
No, there's always 2 years off.
No, but because the World Cup was last year. I'm like, there'd be.
Oh, right. Yeah. It's only because the World Cup.
But this is the year off. We're in the year off. That's why I was getting confused.
But isn't there always 2 years off? It's only shifted because of how the Euros messed up because of the...
Well, there's always there's the World Cup, then there's a year.
2-year gap, but there's always every 2 year.
It's every 2 years, yeah. But that's what I mean. But there's always
a year off and then 1 year.
But we're in the year off now. It's early, guys.
Do you know what happens as well? Because we do so much like football and content and games and fixtures. I've seen so much football. Like I can't remember anything that happened a week ago, a month ago, in terms of like I done this thing with Culture Cams. It's coming out during the summer in the off season. He absolutely killed me. It was about like just football trivia questions of like old stuff though, like who's got the most Ballon d'Ors? This person, like, and Culture Cams. His content is all top 5 players from this region.
Yeah.
And it made me realize that I lived in these eras and I remember all these things, but in the moment I can't remember shit because of what we do is just so it's all current. It's all now, on to the next. I can't remember what we done last week, mate. I can't.
I know.
I can't. I can barely remember the FA Cup final last week.
Good.
Disgrace cheats. Yeah. But no, I don't think Harry Maguire will do that personally. So I think he will leave, and that will allow Kim Min-jae or whoever it's going to be, to come in. Man United 1999 says, is Rashford signing a new deal? There hasn't been any more reports saying that it's done and it's imminent, but it's the last report. What we saw, the majority general consensus vibe was that both parties are happy and they want to get it announced before,
and they still have time.
Season or something.
They still have time. It must be said because they triggered the extension for the extra year, didn't they? So they still do have time to, still figure that all out.
It's not like he's a free agent like how David De Gea is currently.
No, exactly. Well, at the end of the month,
Jason
will be,
at the end of the month. And Jason, who's been a member for 3 months, big up to you, Jason, says, big up the UV channel. Greenwood may end up coming back into a striker role for next season alongside Rasmus. Well, like we've always said on the channel, we'll wait to see what the club decide on Mason Greenwood. That could happen. It might not. We don't know. We don't know what the club are going to do. And lastly today, Henderson exit. I feel like that's been a topic for the last
every day.
Yeah. Is he gone yet? I know what.
No, well, a bit of an update on Dean Henderson. Talks over a fee, according to The Athletic, for Henderson will only begin when David De Gea's future is confirmed. Forest do not want to go as high as 25 million. Manchester United continue to keep abreast of the transfer market for a goalkeeper. Ten Hag would like someone to genuinely challenge David De Gea for his role between the sticks. So basically, it's Henderson. Fees and anything like that, we're going to have to wait until De Gea. Basically, it's strange, the goalkeeper situation, because everything hinges on getting the De Gea stuff done first or getting that signed off. But it's kind of catch-22 because it's almost like Ten Hag doesn't want to sign off on that just yet because he wants to see what's out there as well. So it's kind of, we're at this sort of stalemate when it comes to everything goalkeeper at United. Even though De Gea will stay, but it's like everything else kind of there's going to be this big sort of domino effect, I think.
And you know what's mad? I feel like for me, everyone's going to lose their minds when that announcement comes out that David signs a new deal, and I think everyone will be annoyed and upset until something else happens, i.e., we get another goalkeeper. Because if it just looks like, because we have to, well, obviously Butland's gone now as well, and we need we have to get a goalkeeper. We have to. We will. We've got to. I don't know who it is, how old or how young, how good or how bad. I don't know, but we have to get another one, obviously. But I just think when that deal gets announced, people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's the same old. Ten Hag's gonna die on this sword. He's gonna get him sacked. It's gonna be so. Everyone's gonna wade in." But we just have to wait and see like what the plan is, because there's got to be a plan. And then, like you said, the fact that it hasn't been announced yet, there's something's happening. Like they're trying to work out what budget again, and this leads back to the Glazers, and we want to kick on and we can't. How much money have we got to spend on this versus that? You know, on X versus Y. What can we do? But we're going to keep David. And some people it's like, just get rid of him. This is the time to get rid of him now. Is get rid of him on a free. And you could do that. Get him off the wage bill. You know, 200 grand a week. You're going to give him. But then we still would need two keepers. And then someone, you know, then people could say, well, just get the young kid who's just won the league in, is it Czech Republic?
Yeah.
Kovar. Bring him in as second keeper and then go and use David De Gea money because you've got 200 grand a week off the books. Go and spend 30, 40 million on David Raya just and do that. Like, but clearly David Gea is going to stay. But Ten Hag doesn't want him to be number one, which is a start. So watch this space, man. Watch this space. But I do think he's definitely going to stay.
Yeah, I agree.
I would say. Guys, that's the end of the show. Smash the like on the video. It's been a great show as per usual. We're enjoying these transfer views, even though they're quite stressful and sometimes tedious, and sometimes you're like, what's going on? We just enjoy interacting with you guys, enjoy you guys getting involved in the comments, the members, and the community. And so, yes, keep it up. We enjoy it. We're here every single day, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. That's where you're going to get your transfer view and your latest reports, and 6 p.m. videos as well of updates that have happened through the day. Look out for those as well as your lives as well. So yes, we will see you again.